Advanced souls are isolated because they are vibrating on a higher frequency. They experience most dreadful, painful challenges earlier in their life because they meant to be awakened. This is why they go through the most dysfunction. This is why they go through most trauma. This is why they experience most abuse. This is why they experience pain as they are growing up, because they had to experience in order to be awakened. They go through abusive marriage, divorce, partnership, relationship, narcissism, toxicity, darkness, only to be reminded what is not for them. This is the whole purpose of them going through what they go through. This is the whole purpose of them experiencing what they're experiencing. It's not because God is punishing them. It is because God is initiating them in their higher truth. God is initiating them in their soul truth. And this is why all of that pain, challenge, toxicity, darkness, they had to face. Their soul had to face in order to be awakened. Because if their soul did not experience what they experience, they would not be awakened to their soul essence, to their truth, to their light. This is why God puts them in these situations, these circumstances, these challenges, because ultimately these souls have to experience it. This is why their soul gets refined in more light and more compassion and more love, because the more the challenge they go through, the more refinement they go through. This is refining their soul to its essence, to its light. These souls only find true love later in life, after going through all the messiness, the darkness, the dysfunction, the abuse, the pain, the trauma, all of that. After that, they are able to find love, because their soul needed to go through the refinement process to be refined in its true light, to be refined in its true essence. This is why these advanced souls do not find the love earlier, they find later in life once they recognize their truth. The reason these souls are isolated because their environment doesn't support them. Their environment cannot see their light. Their environment cannot give them what they need. This is why they have to detach. This is why they have to isolate. This is why they have to cut off in order to be initiated in their truth, in order to collapse the shadow, in order to heal what is in the way, in order to release what is in the way, so that they go through this refinement and this initiation in solitude. And this is why they vibrate higher, because in solitude they can allow themselves to focus in their inner truth. They can allow themselves to be focused and be connected to their essence, because the outside, the chaos, is not in alignment with their energy, their frequency, their wisdom, their light. And this is why they have to cut off, because in order for them to be evolved, in order for them to be initiated fully, they need that solitude in order to bring all their gifts and embody all their gifts, so that they can serve and impact humanity in a greater way. God has chosen them for a higher purpose. God hasn't just created them to suffer and to experience pain. God has created them for a higher purpose. And if they didn't go through what they went through, their soul would not have learned what it needed to learn to be in alignment with its purpose. There's a mission and a reason why they came to this earth, and the soul had its mission and it had to fulfill it in the way that it unfolded for them. So this is very important. As a chosen and awakened and advanced soul, you realize that what has happened, it had a purpose, it had meaning. It didn't happen just for the sake of happening. It happened because God has chosen you for higher mission, higher purpose. It's now the time for you to be initiated in that truth, in that light, so that you wake up to your mission, your purpose, so that you serve the humanity in a way that it requires, that is needed, that is desired. And this is why everything that has happened, it happened for this reason. I have an amazing news that I am doing a live event called the Expansion Portal that is about you connecting to your divine truth and knowing what it takes to manifest all. And if you are ready for that expansion, if you are ready to release what is in the way so that you operate in a higher frequency where you know what is keeping you stuck, what is stopping you from expanding into abundance, wealth, and freedom, you can click the link below to register for that event. It will be on 22nd of October. And if you are ready to be expanded into the energy of all that is, then you can click the link below to register for that event. And I will see you then. And this isolation is temporary until their soul learn to remember their truth, their purpose, their divine calling, their soul essence. Until they learn, they need this space and time to initiate those deeper gifts that their intuition has been telling them that they have been desiring for years. But this time, this isolation allows them to be initiated in their higher truth, to be initiated in their gift, their abilities that God has given them. And this is why this isolation is temporary, because it allows them to bloom. And sometimes it feels like that it is taking you down in a darker place. But ultimately, the only reason it feels like you are going through the darker phase, because that darker phase needs to be acknowledged, needs to be realized, needs to be alchemized, needs to be seen. And that is a part of the process. It is not that you are going to be stuck there. You will find that you come back to light. Every time you go through darkness, you come back to light. And it needs to go through. It is the flow of releasing the shadows. It is the flow of releasing what is not yours. And you must go there in order to come back to the light. This is why the isolation is temporary, because as soon as these souls, they remember their purpose, they realize they are here for a bigger things and they have a higher mission, and start working on embodiment of their higher mission and higher purpose, and start releasing what is not serving them, they can start moving into this truth and light that opens up the floodgates to abundance, impact, ease, freedom, love. Everything starts coming to them because they are now initiated in their truth. They now remember who they are. And once that happens, everything shifts overnight. And this is why these souls have to experience these things in order to be in alignment with their divine truth, in order to be awakened to their soul purpose, in order to be the light leader, in order to be in this embodiment of their mission, that they are not here to be slave, but actually they are here to serve. Once they recognize this truth, everything starts shifting in their favor, in their truth, in their light. And as I said, the initiation happens in isolation because that's when they allow themselves to be. Because they've been hurt so much from their environment, from the people, they lose the sense of themselves and they have to come back to themselves in isolation so that they rise higher and deeper in their essence. Because these souls are highly intelligent, wise, kind, compassionate, with so much empathy and love that they carry within them, but the world has wronged them. So that shadows that created by the outside, they have to shed. They have to release in order to remind themselves of that unconditional love from God, divine, that they carry within their heart and within their soul. And that all happens in solitude, in isolation. That's when they get initiated fully in their truth. But the wound of the past can carry the burden on their soul. This is why healing and releasing those burdens that are not theirs, that do not belong to them, that may be generational, ancestral, that needs to be released so that they rise higher, follow their calling, and create an impact that they deeply desired all their life, even when they don't know how to. But that desire has been simmering within, that they are here for a bigger mission, they are here for a higher purpose. Even when they don't know how to do it, they know deeply that is their essence, their truth. And if you recognize yourself in this, if you see yourself in this, if you know that this is who you are, I'm inviting you to release what is in the way so that you own and embody your higher truth with ease, so that you have freedom, abundance, income, and impact with ease. And if you are ready to be initiated in your divine truth, I will leave a link below to apply for my mentoring and be part of Divine Family. That's where we all rise in our purpose, in our light, to create the impact that we deeply know that we are here to do. So if you are ready for that, click the link below to apply for my mentoring. Other than that, like this video if you like this video, and subscribe to my channel. And may the light in me reaches the light in you.